Here's the realistic DX394 or Radio Shack DX394 if you prefer. It's how that one's labelled. And a little update, see what I think of it. I've had it now for, it must be coming up for a couple of months actually. I got it around the same time as I got the low HF 150, which is sitting on top of this radio. I just thought we'd go through the likes and the dislikes I have for this radio. Let's just power it up. We're on 40 meters SSB here, and the radio's connected up to my 4080 meter trap dipole, which I use for amateur radio purposes. So it should work okay, obviously, on the 40 meter band. And you can see it's demodulating SSB fine. Band is quite busy this afternoon, as you can hear. Okay, so there you go. So you probably already picked up with this radio, something that I find as a bit of a dislike is it does mute when you tune. It's got muting as you tune it through the bands. It's more noticeable on single sideband, not too bad on AM. Of course, as you've heard there, it does receive SSB and it's perfectly adequate for that. The filtering's a little bit wide for SSB, but it does work. I think the radio is better as an AM broadcast radio. It's quite convenient to navigate the bands with it. You've got various options. You can key a frequency directly in by pressing the frequency button here, and we can key in, say, we're going to a 49 meter band here, 6 megs, key in 6 megahertz, and there we are, we're there. We're in AM mode now. We can alter the tuning step here very easily. It's in 5 kilohertz at the moment, but just by using these up and down buttons here, we can alter the steps. Let's just tune up the band a little. And it's nice easy tuning. We can navigate by meter bands if we wish. If we just press the meter button, we'll hit that, and then we can go to 41 meters. Try that again. We can navigate using the meter button. We'll just hit the meter button, and then we'll go to 31 meters, 9 megahertz. We're there. Hit the meter button again, and we'll go to 13 meters, and we're there. We can also switch bands with the band button from shortwave to long wave to medium wave and back to shortwave. You've got various timer facilities and memories and so on, which I haven't really used. I'm not convinced of much of the use of memories on a shortwave radio, but you know, other people may disagree. The facility is there if you need it. And it sounds reasonably decent on AM, certainly. Reasonable audio reproduction, nice clear display. And the fine-tuning control here is actually reflected in the display, which for some radios it isn't. But you turn the fine-tuner here and it changes the display so you can see where you're going. You can dim the display if you wish. I'll brighten it again. The S meter is quite novel. It does work. It's like an analog representation on a digital display. Considering this radio is upwards of 30 years old, it is quite novel. And all in all, I think as a basic receiver, if you want a second receiver, or you might use this on a bedside table, or as a secondary receiver just to tune the band if you're sitting in the lounge or something and you can run an antenna to it, then this is absolutely ideal. This appears to be an A model. It has no sticker on the rear. I've read criticisms of these radios saying how poor they were, but I found this to be fine. A couple of people have said that they're deaf. Connected up to a decent antenna, I don't think so. It seems perfectly adequate. I've compared it to the low HF 150 on medium wave particularly, and it heard everything the low did, although I must say it was a bit noisier than the low. The low's a very clean receiver, but this one works okay. It's got its own inbuilt ferrite rod for medium wave, but if you plug in an external antenna, it will use that external antenna on medium and long wave as well. So it's quite versatile from that point of view. So I'd recommend it. It'd be a good starter receiver or a second backup receiver in the Shack. Don't expect high-end performance. It's not an NRD. It's not a Kenwood. It's not an ICOM R70. Those are old receivers I've got in the Shack. Certainly not an ICOM R8600 or whatever the latest is. But it's a decent radio. I often see them for 70 or 80 UK pounds, and I think they're probably worth that. But if you started paying significantly more, maybe you need to think whether you'd be better suited with a more modern SDR, which, although it won't be as much fun or as easy to operate, it will probably give better performance than this. But there it is, the Radio Shack or Realistic DX394. That's what they're like, that's what I think of them. And if you're interested, then look out on the usual second-hand sites, and I'm sure you'll see one. Thank you for watching.